Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I'm Doc Rotten, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. Tonight, we're reviewing Come True, a film you are not expecting when you watch it. I guarantee it. You won't be expecting the film you get. All right. This is going to be fun. Joining me tonight, of course, is Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
I don't know. I'm all messed up. I can't figure out what's dream and are my dreams coming true or...
It's all a dream, Chad.
I don't know.
It's all a dream. It's all a dream. It's all a dream. All right. Also joining us is Crystal Cleveland, the Living Dead girl. How you doing?
Good. I'm actually wishing I'd put my fangs in. I'm like,
oh, nice.
I do have some natural fangs, but I have,
You got some real fangs in there too. All right. Yeah, I like the fangs. There are fangs in this movie. And I like the fangs.
And vamps are my favorite. I mean, my license plate is vampy, so.
Oh, there you go. See that on the road, you know who it is. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to give our first impression of how Come True. Then we're going to talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. But what film are we talking about? We're talking about Come True. I love this poster before, but now that I've seen the film, I love the poster even more. I'm just saying that. It is from IFC Midnight. It comes from, it's in theaters and on demand Friday, March 12th, 2021. Written and directed by Anthony Scott Burns. Cast includes, but not limited to, Julia Sarah Stone and LANDON LIBOIRON. I don't think it's the last one. All right, the synopsis is, struggling with recurring nightmares, Sarah participates in a university sleep study, but as her disturbing dreams worsen, it becomes clear that she might become the conduit to a horrifying discovery. That actually might be true, but I'm not sure. So let's find out. Let's find out what our first impression of Come True may be. Jeff, you are up first, sir.
I still don't know what to think of this film, which is usually I like that. This is absolutely awesome and beautifully shot. I love the look of it. I love the how they have the dreamlike quality, what happens in the dreams, and the idea of what's going on in the sleep study clinic where they can actually visualize your dreams. I don't think that's giving away too much, but I'm not going to go too much farther. Julia Sarah Stone, that was the lead, right?
Yes.
Wow. She was wonderful. She was absolutely wonderful. And I think she's in almost every scene. There's maybe only a couple where other characters are talking. But I have no friggin' idea what happened. And I need to see it again. And I didn't have time to watch this again. Normally this is one I would have watched again. But it's gorgeous. It's well acted. It's thought provoking. But we get to the end and it's all a dream, or it's not all a dream, or it's something else. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know when it became something else. And I go, But at the same time, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. All right, Crystal, what's your first impression of Come True?
Crystal will explain it to us, Doc.
Yes, she will.
No, really. I did get my fangs in.
You did. Look at them.
Oh, you did.
I've got double fangs. Yeah, they're hot. Okay, so I loved this movie.
Yeah.
I feel like it was so beautifully shot. Some of the cinematography, I would just sit there and watch, and then I would rewind the scene so I could just see the shots again because they were so attractive. I think the score was equally dynamic, and that's unusual for an
It was
independent film
interesting,
like
wasn't
this.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the acting was phenomenal. Landon, I love that dude because he was in Hemlock Grove. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Oh, no, I didn't know
but
that.
it was amazing. He was phenomenal in that. He's a werewolf. Rawr. So, I really liked the concept of this movie. I liked the execution. I only had a few things with the story that bothered me a little. One of them was, I'd actually talked about this with y'all, and I'm going to go ahead and mention it. I understand that they mentioned that she's 18 years old, and that's all well and good, but she's still in high school. So what's a 30-year-old man doing with a high school girl? It's just
Creepy.
I feel like it's irresponsible to write something like that. They could have made her the same age and just put her in college, and I would have felt much better about that. Just the idea that she's in high school is there's something about high school that just needs to remain in high school until you get out. And then, I'd feel a little bit better. I know it seems silly that it may just be a few months, but it makes a difference to me as a woman because when I was in high school, I had a ton of men that age hitting on me, and it's gross, quite frankly. I don't care that I was 18. It's just yucky. Makes me feel icky inside. But the last thing was, I think the movie was mind-blowing. I mean, every bit of the movie I loved. I loved the way it was done. I loved the CGI. I loved the whole story up until the end actually almost ruined it for me. I mean, I'll never be the type of person that will allow something so silly and so trite to completely ruin the movie for me. But I think it could have just been left without that text.
Yep. I'm with you on that.
And because the text just made me go, oof. Why? That's right. But yeah.
That's it. I'm going to sound kind of like a repeat here with you. So I was immediately drawn into this film, the cinematography. The guy did everything. We should mention Anthony Scott Burns. He did the cinematography, did the music, he wrote the story, he did the direction. It's his baby.
Wow.
He did a lot of it.
What? He did it all?
Yeah, he did a lot.
That's impressive.
There's a story there somewhere. The imagery that this film brings to the screen is hauntingly beautiful. It is really. There's scenes in here that are that'll stick with you just because of the visual of it. It's like one of those crazy horror paintings that are both beautiful and kind of shocking at the same time. It really invokes a lot of stuff, and of course, it ends up talking about a topic that I kind of enjoy, that I really am fascinated by, and that's shadow people.
Sleep paralysis.
The shadow people, right? That comes with the sleep paralysis, and
have you had sleep paralysis before?
I've had the shadow people, yes. But
I have never experienced it.
Yeah,
and I think I'm the only person ever. Everyone else has experienced it.
Well, what's funny is it's not people for me, and I don't know what that means because it can be people. I had it one time. Most of the time, it's a giant spider.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it's crazy.
No. I said no.
Yes, we won't talk about it anymore. But so I don't know what that means. For me, it's just I'm messed up. But it's not that. It's not small. It's giant. So tell me what that's all about, somebody out there in the world. But anyway, so I really got into this, and I really liked the girl. So the girl's obviously going through some trauma, and that was a big part of it. I think that's why she had to be in high school, is because she had this home life that wasn't allowing her to stay at home. But
you can still be in college and live at home. That's what I'm saying.
I agree. But
I lived at home with my parents when I was in college, when my first year of college, because it was convenient and cheap. I'm just saying ooh, okay, that's fine. Then don't make them have sex.
Right. You could have the attraction without the romance, but
the sex scene was phenomenal. So I would really be sad. I would be super sad without that. I just was like, I was like, she's 18, still. Bleh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, a little taboo on certain places. But I really liked her plight. I really liked, her trying to find, she goes to this sleep study because she wants to actually sleep, right? Which is kind of ironic, but then it, goes into this larger story. And I mean, at times this is kind of like some of the shots are a cross between Cronenberg and Kubrick. Like we follow this one guy down the hallway and around corners and, and then he's got these huge giant glasses that are like, if you really need those, wow, sorry, dude. But those are incredibly large glasses, and I wear glasses, but these are like twice as big as mine. It was like as big as his face. It was amazing. And I liked her. I liked all the people that were on the science side of it. They aren't a big part of it, but one thing that threw me was I could not see this guy not being Harry Potter. He was such a Harry Potter.
He does look like Daniel. He does.
He does. I just couldn't. I was like, God, this is the Harry Potter's in this movie. Not Daniel Radcliffe, but Harry Potter. He looks like Harry Potter. All he needs is a little. So that I don't know why, but I could. Once I got in my head, I couldn't get it out of there, and I just OCD'd on it, and it just.
I think if you watch Hemlock Grove, that'll help. He doesn't have the beard, and he looks completely different. Yeah.
Well, I think the beard made him look much more like what I guess Daniel Radcliffe looks like a lot now, because he sports the beard a lot now. So maybe it is Daniel Radcliffe that. But because I don't always see Harry Potter when I see Daniel Radcliffe anymore.
Really?
Not always. Not always.
Not in Guns Akimbo. He's fabulous.
Right. And what's the movie where he farted and flew around?
Swiss Army Man.
Swiss Army Man, yes. That's a great movie. He's fantastic in it. I threw myself on that one.
Where did that come from?
So there's dream sequences in here that are incredible. They're really well realized. They look like there might be miniatures and then CGI shoved into it as well. I mean, obviously there's a couple of them that are 100% CGI, but it's just really done well. And yeah, and then it gets to the very ending, and I'm the same way Crystal is. The last seconds of the movie almost made me,
See, that's what I said. It almost. I was like, no, why? Why? Sometimes you just need to let it go. Just. So it's perfect as it is. Sometimes you just want. I feel like sometimes people feel like they need to explain something, like he needed to explain it all, but it didn't need to be explained.
No,
it didn't need to be.
Didn't.
Well, my reaction was first it was, oh no, and then it was, wait a minute.
Well, I was like, do I need to watch it again?
Going down a whole other line of thinking on what was going on. So.
Yeah, and that's why. But I think that it just being ambiguous is better. I liked it. It's
still ambiguous, I think.
And it almost threw it over the rails. But at the same time, it really, what boils down is Julia Sarah Stone is absolutely marvelous in this. Excuse me. The camera loves her. She's charismatic. And she wide range of emotions from concerned to being scared to being angry to all kinds of things, and it's she really like I said, the camera really loves her. It's quite amazing, and she looks like a little pixie as well.
Yeah,
but it works,
She looks like a little alien.
She kind of does.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily going to say that, but yeah.
Well, no, I was like, wait, no, just that's all. That's all.
Or she comes right out of Fantasia as a fairy or something from one of the animated fairies, and it is very ambiguous. And there's several scenes that I still don't know, and things that they tell you, like her background, why she's living the way she is. It's we just don't learn much about that. We hear one person say it, we don't hear her say it, I don't think. And then there's other stuff that there's another major scene, I think, that I don't know what happened. I don't know how it turned out. We never find out. Unless I missed it.
I think some of that's okay. I was okay with. At first, I was jarring. The relationship she had, like how she wouldn't answer her mother's call. I was like, ugh, what's going on? But then I was just like, the reality is all that is irrelevant, ultimately. Mm-hmm. Nothing really matters.
Well, that's where she's at. We don't know why she's there exactly, but yeah.
Yeah.
So have you had sleep paralysis, Jeff? Have you had sleep? I swear, everybody I have ever known is, and I'm like, no, I've literally never had sleep paralysis. I am like, let me tell you.
Mine is, I don't see the shadow people. Well, at least I don't think so. but I hear voices and everything going on around me, and I want to get up and I want to participate, and I can't. I can't move. I can't.
See, no.
It's like a major.
Mm-mm. Everybody has had it, but me, and I'm feeling like literally, I've never had that.
One time, it's the same but slightly different. I woke up and turned to the side, and there was a shadow woman there next to me, and she started going like this at me, and I started going back, and scared the living crap out of me. And then it was gone. So I know it's like, what you doing?
I can't move. I can't move when I'm. So that's
man, it makes me What was fascinating, like what I really liked was when they were explaining the different stages of sleep, and they were showing like the feet twitch and the stuff like that. Now it's probably one of the better illustrations of that I've seen in film. I don't know. There's some of the style in this really won me over. Like
the sight,
it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Even the doctor's big glasses were fit the style of the movie perfectly, and fit that guy's the way he acted and the way he did things. I thought
it made his character even. And
they were like Harry Carey glasses, and I kind of felt like they were trying to play the guy off of. He looked a little bit like the Amazing Kreskin. I don't remember if Kreskin had big glasses like that, but he looked a little bit like that. Anyway, that is the way he acted. And, he acted very sane, right?
Oh no, he was definitely a stable force throughout this. I mean, he was the one that was upset with them for showing, the pictures or whatever. And
it was his minions that were always stepping out of bounds, right? He was, even though the study he was running was a little bit iffy, and where he was willing to go.
Well, I also liked the way that the dreams looked. I liked the way that they were filmed. Just literally everything about the look of this movie is totally a turn on to me. I think it's all so freaking beautiful and amazing. And the sound and the music. And
I'm glad you mentioned the music, because I thought about that right away. I thought, well, that's an interesting choice. You hear like it's almost like a flute or something at one point early on, like a low flute. I don't know, but anyway, then it was excellent, and her body control, the lead's body control when she was doing that walk where people were following her. That was so, I don't know what you'd call it, poetic, graceful, flowing. I don't know how anybody could be that smooth. That it just looked great. Her whole body posture and everything about it.
Yeah, some of the soundtracks from Electric Youth and Pilot Priest. I can't tell you what that means. I don't know either of them. Somebody out there listening does. But it's definitely a strong. This I'm okay. So I do love this film, but that last segment is keeping me from like absolutely
Really, I know.
loving it. Right, absolutely adoring it.
And I don't want. I don't want to do that because I feel like that does such a disservice to the rest of the film. I think that's such a like Headhunter. How much I loved Headhunter, but I had someone say that the film was ruined because of that last bit, and I'm like, that's silly. That's so silly that and so I'm trying not to allow that to happen here. I'm like, it's a choice. It's a choice that he decided to make, and honestly, I'm questioning myself because I feel like every other choice that this man made since he did everything in this movie, every choice he made other than her being in high school was perfect, fabulous. Yeah. The casting was fabulous. He did amazing job at the cinematography. I love the story, short of the high school. I mean, I'm like, how could you get so much right and then just have a couple spots where it's like it goes from here to like here, and that's so strange. Usually, it's more like tapering.
Yeah, I feel like there's a reason for it, and I just
me too. Maybe I'm missing it.
Now I got to go watch the movie again to pick it up. I got to pull a Jeff Mohr, watch the movie a couple more times.
I mean, any movie
Sometimes
that can work any movie that can work vampire fangs into it with a non-vampire movie, I am all about it. I'm like, it totally worked, and I didn't even think it was crazy or weird or silly and just the more.
Oh, it was crazy and weird, but it was still cool. I thought it was crazy and weird.
After like the the morph of the alien to the bathroom, this whole end bit I just loved. I loved the morph, this the implication there. I just it was cool.
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're going to give our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. And if you are still listening, we want to thank you so much for hanging out with us. We hope you enjoy this review and many others that we're doing. If you want to support us, it's really easy to do. Just hit the subscribe button or share with a friend. Either thing will help us greatly, and we would appreciate. Thank you very much. If you want to get a little bit more involved, hit that like button, hit the bell to get reminded, or leave us some comments. When you see this film, and we know you will, let us know what you think. Let us know if how soon will it be that Julia Sarah Stone becomes a star, because I think she's headed that direction. And we also want to take a quick moment to thank our patrons, because without them, we would not be able to do not only the Gruesome Magazine podcast, but Horror News Radio, Decades of Horror, and Heroes and Droids. Thank you all so much. All right, let's do this. Our final thoughts, our score, and favorite scene. Jeff, you're up first.
And leave comments. All right. I think we've trumpeted the wonders of how this is made. I mean, the actual look and sound and acting in it is stunning. And I was at one point I was going to get it 2 scores, one for look and one for story, but you know what? I'm just going to give it 1 score, regardless of the fact that, about 2/3 of the way through the movie, I was thinking, this is really ambitious. I wonder if they're going to be able to pull off the ending. And I still don't know.
I
don't know. So, but I'm okay with that. So I'm giving this it's still a struggle.
Yeah.
This is like a 5 as far as the way it looks.
Wow.
I think, but I'm gonna drop it down to a 4, which is still pretty damn good.
Interesting.
With I don't know why, other than and that may change when I watch it again. I should say when I watch it again, because I will watch it again. And I've read some reviews online that are mixed too. I saw some absolutely stunning reviews, and and some other ones that were like, yeah,
Really?
what the hell was
Interesting.
that? So, well, everybody thinks it's beautiful, I think, but anyway,
Huh.
I'm,
I don't
I'm
think
done.
it's that far off the wall.
What was the favorite
That's
scene?
interesting.
Did we get a favorite
Oh
scene?
yeah, favorite scene.
Favorite scene. You did not get a favorite scene. Wow. I'm
Yeah.
I'll jeez. You know what? I'll go with the there's a point where she sort of comes to and her thumbs are doing something to somebody. Which is like towards the end.
Oh my god, that could be
That
so
was a
difficult.
shocker to me. I was like, it took me a minute. I had to rewind that a couple times to see who is that and what the hell is going on. So anyway.
Yes, it was a shocker. All right, Crystal, you're up next. What is your final thoughts, your score, and your favorite scene?
So oddly enough, I don't think this movie is that weird. I don't think it's weird. But I am a Twin Peaks lover. David Cronenberg's my favorite. Lynch. I feel like this kind of it's pretty flowy. Makes sense to me. I don't know what that says about me, but okay. I'm gonna give it a 4.25.
Wow.
Yeah, I almost. Yeah, no, I almost wanted to go higher, but I probably need to watch it again because the two things I mentioned were enough to bump it down. I still wouldn't be quite ready to give it a 5, but it's a very worthy movie, and I think tons of people will really enjoy it. I think most horror movie lovers should watch this. I think apparently everyone experiences sleep paralysis except for me, and so I think it will. It's not scary to me, but it'll probably be scary to a lot of you. So I just thought it was beautiful. Even the creatures. Oh, cool. And I already mentioned my favorite scene. It's absolutely the sex scene. I freaking loved the whole thing. I loved the way it was shot. I loved the weirdness. I loved the movements. He was super awkward having sex with her, and I kind of dug it. It was all so weird and disjointed and odd, and I was just kind of eating that up. So go figure with my whole high school thing. That's my favorite scene.
There you go. So that's why it stuck with you so much. It's like, I love that scene so much, but she's in high school.
Yeah.
I really like this movie, and I think it's as much a horror film as it is a sci-fi film. I mean, it's considered more sci-fi, but I think the elements in this are really horror. And it does have a Cronenberg feel, but it's not body horror. It doesn't have that kind of Cronenberg. But it has that ambiance to it. It has, some of the shots are like very like long shots that you would see Kubrick do, like in The Shining, walking down the hallway, right? And they do the same thing here with our doctor, and it's cut with another scene, and it really feels weird and kind of creepy, and it's just ordinary, what's actually happening, but yet it's presented in a way that isn't. And then when you get into the actual dreams, it is quite haunting. It is visually stunning and beautiful. This is a really wonderful film. It has a really big flaw that I think a rewatch could erase. I feel like I don't know. I'm being optimistic that it's there, right? The reason why is there somewhere, and I just wasn't looking for it.
Because you didn't want it to be that.
Well, I did. I still don't.
Yeah, me neither.
So but it's not at the same time, like you said, it's not that impactful that it tanks it. It just keeps it from elevating to a point where I could be giving this, 4.5 or a 5 or really, and now I'm just going to give it a 4. This guy needs to do more work quick.
Yeah. Who is this guy?
I know.
Who is he? I'm like, I'm in awe.
Yeah, he did a great job. I have a feeling like this is like a passion film. He's done. Yeah, it took him a while. I need to dive into more. Yeah, he's done. Did he do Our House? Oh my God. Okay. He did Our House, which is a really strong another strong film.
Which one
That
is
we
that?
like. How do I
hear?
Yeah, you did Our House. We'll talk about it offline, but look up.
Oh,
look it
okay.
up
Sorry.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah. So so guys got some visions going on, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
really embraced it here. Looking forward to whatever's coming next, and looking forward to whatever this actress does next. The Julie Sarasone, she is marvelous in this. Really, might be one of the more striking performances I've seen in recent times in the past 4 or 6 months. Very impressive. So yeah, my favorite scene is going to be on the run in the woods, and the line, I haven't seen that many of them before, and then whoop whoop whoop, and you know what I mean by that is there's
Yeah,
a
of
visual
course.
that kind of
Yep.
matches.
Yeah.
And it was, to me, that I was actually kind of on edge with that. I knew that was going to happen. It was obvious what they were leading up to, but at the same time, it was done so well and so effective, and it really was damn creepy. I really liked it. So I feel like I should give it a 4.5 now. Oh my god! All right, I'm going to watch this movie again. I got to do it. Find out what happened there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, IFC really nailed this one. They jumped on it. I think this was a big hit at like Fantasia or a couple of the film festivals. So
yeah, I could see like walking in this, not knowing anything about it, just be totally blown away.
Well, I think I watched the trailer like once, but didn't realize this was the movie. So I tend to go into all of our movies completely,
yeah.
not knowing what I'm about to see.
I watch
like,
the trailers
"Can't
when Doc
wait."
throws them up, and then by the time we do them, I forget.
I forget. Yeah, totally. I'm like, wait, which one was this again? Sorry.
2:00 in the morning the night before we get all right, there we go. That's our review for Come True. Look for it out on video on demand in some theaters from IFC Midnight. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Crystal, Jeff, thank you so much for joining me. It's a lot of fun.
Yep. Thanks.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Let's say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.